Hey everyone, let's take a quick look at the fight against Beastlord Darmac. This is the heroic version of the fight based on early beta testing, so many things are subject to change before launch. Beastlord Darmac is not the only enemy you will have to fight in this encounter because throughout the fight he regularly summons many small adds. In addition to these small adds, there are 3 large NPCs present in the room called Prime Beasts. These prime beasts are not hostile, they do not attack the raid and they cannot be attacked, but they do interact with Darmac in a specific way. When Darmac reaches 85% health, he will mount the prime beast that is closest to his location. On doing so, he will gain certain special abilities associated with that prime beast. From this point on, Darmac's health pool is merged with that of the prime beast, and once the beast is killed, Darmac will dismount it and you will continue to damage his own health pool. Whenever Darmac is damaged for an additional 20% of his health, he will mount another one of the prime beasts until all 3 have been mounted and killed. Finally, it is important to note that whenever a prime beast is killed and Darmac dismounts it, he retains one or more of the beast's abilities and continues using them until the end of the fight. Before we look at the beasts and what their abilities do, we need to look at Darmac's default abilities. His first ability, one that he spams throughout the fight, is called Pin Down. He hurls spears at the locations of random raid members which deal damage in an area when they land. Any players within 3 yards of the impact location take more damage and also become pinned down by the spear. The rest of the raid will have to destroy these spears to free the pinned players. The other ability that Darmac uses throughout the fight is called Call the Pack. He summons a large number of pack beasts. These weak adds do nothing except gradually buff their own movement speed and damage. Throughout the fight, your raid will constantly have to keep taking down these pack beasts, but the damage priority should still remain Darmac. Now let's look at the prime beasts. As you can probably tell, given that Darmac will mount the beast that he is closest to, your raid can influence the order in which Darmac mounts the prime beasts. While different strategies for completing the fight will probably emerge over time, we have found that the best prime beast order is probably Cruel Fang, Iron Crusher, and then Dreadwing. When mounted on Cruel Fang, Darmac gains 2 abilities. Rend and Tear causes the boss to leap to a random target, applying a bleed effect to all enemies within 6 yards. The bleed effect lasts for 30 seconds. Cruel Fang also often casts Savage Howl. This deals damage to nearby enemies and also buffs the attack speed of nearby adds by 75%. As long as your raid keeps the number of adds under control, this should not be a problem. After Cruel Fang is killed, Darmac will retain the Rend and Tear ability and will also apply a 35% attack speed increase to all allies within 30 yards. Iron Crusher has 3 abilities. Crush Armor is a stacking tank debuff that reduces the tank's armor and requires a tank switch. Stampede causes Iron Crusher to deal damage around him, then charge to a distant enemy and deal damage in an area once more. Each of the 2 stomps also knocks affected players backwards. Stampede can quite easily be avoided. Every once in a while, Iron Crusher will also cast Tantrum, dealing raid-wide nature damage every 1 second for 5 seconds. Once Iron Crusher is killed, Darmac's physical damage will be increased by 25% until the end of the fight, and he will also continue using Tantrum. The 3rd prime beast, Dreadwing, has several abilities. Searing Fangs is a stacking tank debuff that requires a tank switch. Inferno Breath is a frontal cone attack that deals massive fire damage to all enemies caught in the cone. It's important to note that Dreadwing will target a random raid member with Inferno Breath, turning to them, so being ready to move and avoid it is quite important. Finally, Dreadwing also casts Conflagration, setting random raid members on fire for 6 seconds and causing them to run around and deal damage to any other allies in their close proximity. Once Dreadwing is killed, a number of changes to Darmac's abilities occur. Darmac retains the Fire Breath, now called Superheated Shrapnel, and the spears that he hurls on the ground now also spawn fire that moves around and deals damage to any enemies that come in contact with it. Once all 3 prime beasts have been defeated, you will just have to finish off Darmac, as you can see here. Anyway, that's it for this fight. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you for watching and good luck.